MonsterBuild. The Hoover Dam, 726 feet tall, 3.25 million cubic yards of concrete, built during the Great Depression using methods that had never been attempted before at this scale. This is how they actually did it. Before any construction could begin, engineers had to move the Colorado River. They drilled 4 diversion tunnels through the canyon walls, each one 56 feet in diameter. They blasted over 3 miles of tunnel through solid rock, plugged the river, and sent it through the tunnels. The canyon floor was dry for the first time in recorded history. What they found underneath was not solid rock. It was centuries of silt and debris. Workers spent months blasting down to bedrock. The foundation pads they cut into the canyon walls are still there today, locking the dam's base into the rock like a key in a lock. Without that anchorage, the dam's own weight would have destroyed it. Now they could pour concrete, and this is where the engineering problem that almost killed the project appeared. Concrete generates heat as it cures. At this volume, enough to pave a 2-lane highway from San Francisco to New York, the heat buildup would have been catastrophic. The outer surface would cure while the interior stayed liquid. When it finally cooled, it would crack from the inside. The dam would fail before it was finished. Their solution was extraordinary. They embedded 582 miles of 1-inch steel pipe throughout the concrete as they poured it. They pumped refrigerated river water through those pipes continuously as the concrete cured, section by section, column by column. Without that system, engineers calculated the concrete would have taken 125 years to cool on its own. They poured the concrete in interlocking columns, 230 individual columns, each no more than 5 feet tall before the next layer went on. This controlled shrinkage and eliminated stress fractures. Each column was then grouted to its neighbors under pressure once it had cooled. The result is essentially one monolithic structure even though it was built in hundreds of separate pieces. The men who built it worked in conditions that were deliberately hidden from the public. Workers inside the diversion tunnels faced temperatures over 140 degrees Fahrenheit. Carbon monoxide from gas-powered trucks filled the tunnels. Workers who collapsed were dragged outside to recover and sent back in. The company paid them in scrip that could only be spent at company-owned stores. The official death toll is 112 workers, but labor historians have disputed that number for decades. Workers who died from carbon monoxide poisoning were classified as dying from pneumonia. Workers who died from heat stroke were recorded as natural causes. The actual death toll is believed to be significantly higher. None of the families received compensation beyond the final paycheck. Despite everything, they finished 2 years ahead of schedule. The contract said 1936. They finished in 1935. The consortium collected an early completion bonus from the federal government. The dam generates over 4 billion kilowatt-hours of electricity per year and supplies drinking water to more than 25 million people across Nevada, Arizona, and California. What they built in 5 years during the worst economic period in American history still stands today. They moved a river, invented a cooling system on the spot, poured enough concrete to outlast every living person on Earth by thousands of years. Follow MonsterBuild, the biggest builds on Earth, explained. Link in bio.